Hello, wonderful family. Welcome back to another video. Happy Friday. I know for sure it's been a while, but hey, I'm here. I want to take the time to say thank you very much for your love and your continuous support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So today I want to talk to you about how do you forgive in the midst of chaos? What do you do when your family member is hurting? When somebody hurt a family member? When somebody hurt your child? What do you do? How do you forgive in the midst of chaos? When your child is hospitalized in the hospital because he or she was beaten by someone. Just think of it. You're trying to cope that your son or your daughter will pull through, or could be a brother or sister, pull through this process. And at the same time, in your heart, somebody's asking you to forgive them. I'm talking in the midst of chaos where you don't sure if your family member or your child gonna make it. What do you do? How do you deal with the situation? Let me say this thing to you. You will never understand until you are in that seat. It's not a walk in the park, and it's not gonna happen overnight. Because listen, you're looking at that person of their free will, and your child or another family member is in the hospital battling for their life. But at the end of the day, you have to look in that person's eye and say, I forgive you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of patience. It takes grace. You have to go before God and sit down and ask God to give you the art of forgiveness. But it's not easy. Because at the same time, you're trying to have a good heart. You're trying to have a forgiving heart. But at the same time, when every time you walk in that hospital and see your child or your family member, the grief in your heart, the things that are going through your mind that you want to do to such person. But at the end of the day, you have to forgive. And it's not easy. But by the grace of God, and let me tell you something, I'm not going to fool you, going to take time. As I said, they're going to take a lot of patience and grace and a lot of prayer and fasting. It's not going to be easy. Let nobody fool you. It's not going to be easy. But God, He said, take your burden and leave it to the Lord. Leave it there. Where human beings will go through things. It's not easy looking at your child in the hospital. Sometimes they're unresponsive, nothing. You're talking to them, nothing. And at the end of the day, that person look in your eye and asking them or asking you to forgive them of their action. But every time you go back in the hospital and see your family member in that situation, it grieves your heart. It stirs up some stuff inside of you. Bitterness, hatred, let's name them. Yes, it will happen. But in the midst of chaos, you have to ask God to sit at your bedside. You have to ask God to help you. To have a good heart in spite of the pain and the suffering. You have to ask God. Because listen, let me tell you something. If you don't careful, bitterness will come in your heart and stir up some stuff. Things that you are not even thinking of. So let me tell you something. We are going to be careful. How we telling person, oh, you have to learn to forgive and forgive. It's going to take a while. Because if it's your family member in that situation, it's not going to be easy for you. So I'm saying to you, how do we forgive in the midst of chaos? We have to ask God. We have to invite Him in our heart. We have to ask God. We have to go and fasting and pray, a lot of patience, a lot of grace. Because it's not easy. It's not easy. So, don't be fooled. It's not easy. But by the grace of God, I am telling you that God will see you through. But this forgiveness is not a walk in the park. When your family member or your child in the hospital battling for their life, it's not an easy one. So may I say this to you. Take time out. Pray and seek the Lord. It will happen slowly. But seek the Lord and ask Him, my God, to give you that good heart and not to have a corrupt heart. Because let me tell you, the enemy come to kill, to steal, and destroy. But I say, this too shall pass, and we must overcome. So my wonderful people, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. So in the midst of chaos, it's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of prayer and fasting. And sit at the feet of Jesus. That's the only way it's going to happen. But it's not a walk in the park. Take care, guys. Bye for now. Bye.